Okay, hello, and thank you so much for joining us. Deb and I are going to explain to you how you can get started in Young Living, and we're going to share some testimonials with you. I want to introduce myself. I am Diana Miller, and I am here with Debbie Boyer. I have been in Young Living for, oh gosh, a long time, since probably '07 or '08, using the product, and absolutely love it. When I was introduced to the product, actually by Janie, I knew in my spirit immediately that this was something very, very special. And it was something that everybody needed to know about. And I knew that it could make a massive difference in my life and in the life of the person, my grandmother actually, is who I was seeking out something natural. I knew it could make a difference in her life, and I knew it could make a difference in the lives of all my friends. And so I just began to share this information with all of my friends, and the rest is history. And indeed, it did make a big difference in my life and a big difference in the lives of many, many of my friends. So, my name is Diana Miller, as I mentioned, and Young Living is the world leader in essential oils. They've been around for 25 years, and they were founded by Gary and Mary Young. This is a company that sets the standard for the essential oils and the natural wellness industry. I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine that they are probably definitely in the top five natural wellness companies in the world, I would suspect. They are a very, very unique company. They do things very differently, meaning that they have such strong integrity. And every product that they develop, they actually develop it for a purpose rather than a profit. And that sets them apart from everybody else. The other things that set them apart and why they are the world leader in essential oils is that they own their farms. They are the only essential oil company to own their farms and their distilleries. And they started, it's so unique because they started as a ma and pa shop, if you will, just a hands on. Gary Young was raised in Idaho on a farm in a very, very poor, impoverished um, environment. And, we in our life, the Lord will bring things into your life and just kind of compile little experiences and pieces of knowledge and whatnot. He compiles those things to you for usefulness for in your future. And that's exactly what happened to Gary. And so Gary had all kinds of experiences that served him well when it came time for him to develop this company, but it was not without great hurdles to jump over. He left when he was a young man. He left his farm and he went to, I believe it was in Canada. And you can find his whole story in this book, which is one of the most phenomenal books. But he left his home and his farm and he went to go get the last homestead of land in Canada. And he was a logger and he was injured in a very, very serious accident when he was in his early 20s. And he was actually driven, a tree fell on him, and he was driven, I believe, like a foot and a half in the snow through his snowshoes, and he was paralyzed. Now, Gary Young, anybody that's ever known Gary Young or met him, and I have had the honor and the privilege of meeting him, and he's was a very, very, very special human being. And he is not was not a person that the Special Olympics were going to do for him. Remaining in that state of being paralyzed and contributing to life was just not going to work for him. So, in his time of just being in dire pain, his bones were crushed. He was, I mean, just mangled, just horrible, horrible. And you can see in this book, you can see pictures of X-rays and all kinds of things. And anyway, he tried to commit suicide 3 times. and was not successful because the Lord had a great plan for him. And the last time that he tried to commit suicide, he tried to starve himself. He decided he was just going to starve himself. And I would like to ask someday, Mary perhaps, why he chose to put lemon in his water, because he decided he was just going to have lemon water. And I think, oh my gracious, this number escapes me, but I think it was like for 156 days or something like that, that he had just water with lemon in it. Because you see, lemon is a great detoxifier. And there was something to that. You know, there was just something to the fasting and the detoxifying. What man means for harm, God can use for good, and boy did he. So after 156 days or so, Gary's toes began to move and he began to get some feeling back, and the rest is history. This set him on a quest, a thirst and a hunger for knowledge of how the human body is designed and what it was designed for. And so that's how Young Living began. He had, it took him to, at some point in his story, to have a half acre or so, fourth acre of land. He had some lavender seeds that he had smuggled in his boots from France, and he started his own little tiny lavender farm and built a distillery in his kitchen sink, using the knowledge that when I mentioned in the beginning, those little pieces of knowledge that the Lord just compiles to use for us. So using the knowledge that he gained as a boy on a farm, and he built this distillery, and the rest is history. And so now, from a very impoverished situation, Young Living is a multi-billion-dollar company. And we have millions and millions of distributors. And I do not say that to tote the number of the billions or the millions, but I say that to say that Young Living is a company to pay attention to, and they offer something that each and every person, if you're breathing, and that's basically all of us, need in our lives, because it is intentional. What is in these little tiny bottles that we're going to talk about tonight is intentional. These are little molecules created by the same God that you and I were created by, no matter what your belief. These are intentional. These are natural, and we are natural. We're not in synthetic beings, and we're not intended for synthetic entities to go into our body. And that is what Gary Young discovered. And so because of all of that, they have farms all over the world, and they have distilleries, and they set the standard for the entire industry. But not everybody in the industry follows those standards, because everybody else is in it for profit, and Young Living is in it for purpose, because they are such a company of integrity. They want to honor the original intent of the creation. And so they do not adulterate their essential oils in any way, meaning they don't add anything to them and they don't take anything away from them. So that's exactly who Young Living is, and why they are the company to align with and to pay attention to if you are looking for a more natural way for your wellness. So what are essential oils anyway? I don't know about you, but I had no clue when I got started what they were. And there's a lot of myths floating around out there about exactly what essential oils are. And if you don't really understand it, it would be very simple for you to just go to Walmart or Bed Bath & Beyond, because essential oils are everywhere now because everybody wants them. It says my internet connection is unstable. Debbie, can you still hear me okay? Can you still hear me okay? Okay. Everybody wants them. So if you don't understand what essential oils are, you may go, like many of us did in the beginning, to a drugstore, or goodness gracious, Bed Bath & Beyond, are you kidding me? Carries essential oils. And you may go buy those and think you're buying the authentic thing, but you're not. you're not. If you want authenticity, then you want Young Living, period. Just period. So what are essential oils? They're basically just a volatile liquid, meaning it is a liquid with a fragrance. It comes from a plant, and they use the leaves and the bark and the stems and the roots and the flowers and the petals and all kinds of plants and all pieces of plants, because everything has an intent and a usefulness to it that is created by God. And they distill these. Of course, there's a great science to it. And they distill these and they extract them, and they get these beautiful, beautiful essence liquids. Now, behind my head, to my right, it might be to your left, you can see a little dark circle on the wall back there behind me with little white bottles. That is an essential oil rack, and those little white things that you see are actually tops to essential oils. There's, I don't know, probably 125 of them back there. And they, and I don't even have all of them. I've got essential oils all over my house. And they are useful for anything and everything you can possibly think of. This essential oil kit that we're going to talk about, we're going to keep it small and tell you exactly how to get started. It used to be called the Everyday Oils Kit. And the reason is it's everyday oils for everyday occurrences, for everyday homes, everyday people that live in those homes. And so those are the 10 or 12 oils that we're going to focus on. And we're only going to focus on just even a few of those. So that is who I am. That is who Young Living is. That is what essential oils are. They're just a liquid that come from a plant. And how do you use them? You use them in 3 ways. You inhale them either straight from the bottle, you put a drop in your hand, you inhale them from your hand, or you inhale them via diffuser that is going to come free with your kit that you're going to get started with. And you also can ingest them. There's another part, another type of oil. It's called the Vitality oils, and those are simply oils. It's the same thing that's labeled in the bottle that's labeled for topical use or an aromatic use. It's the same ingredient in the bottle, but they're labeled differently for internal use. So some of the oils you can ingest them, and those are called the Vitality oils, and they'll look a little bit different. They come with a white label around them. So that's how you know. If it comes in a white label, you'll get a product guide with your kit. And when you browse through there and you see those oils that come with white labels, and there are many of them, you know 100% sure it is safe for you to ingest. So you inhale them, you ingest them, and you apply them topically. If you have an area of discomfort on your body somewhere, you would just rub that oil straight onto that area of need. And it's that simple. That's the 3 ways that we use oils. They work, and they work fast. And you will fall in love with them, and they will change your life the way that they changed my life. And I'm going to share that story with you in a little bit. Now, the kit that I am speaking of is this kit right here. It is now called the Premium Starter Kit, or the PSK. And the one that I'm showing you is the US kit. Debbie is in Canada, and she has the kit from Canada. Now, Debbie, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, do you have the same oils in your kit that we have in the US? Do you have the exact same oils?
No, we do not have any of the Vitality oils in our kit.
Okay.
But a lot of the oils would probably be the same. I haven't actually seen it. You now have 12 in your kit. We still only have 11.
Okay. Thank you. So yes, they probably are going to overlap. And as I mentioned, so you can see in this kit that some of the bottles are in colors, and some of the bottles are in white. Now, Debbie, you have lemon, I believe, on the top of yours right there.
Yes.
Well, see, our lemon comes in, it's these yellow ones. It comes in a Vitality.
Yes.
The lemon in that yellow bottle in Debbie's kit and the lemon in this is the exact same ingredient inside the bottle. It is just simply labeled different. So there you go. We have 12 oils. Thank you, Debbie, as she mentioned. So you're going to get this kit in both the Canadian kit and in the US kit. They're going to be basically the same. We get 12 oils, they get 11. They're going to get the oils. It comes apart like this. It has a little tray underneath. There's all kinds of goodies under there. We get 2 extra bonus oils. She gets 1. You get the Ningxia Red juice samples, which is an amazing antioxidant juice. You get the sample of the Thieves Household Cleaner.
No.
No, you do not. Okay, in the US, you get a sample of the Thieves Household Cleaner. I suspect that will be coming to Canada soon. I don't know. You get a sample of the hand purifier, or a bottle of the hand purifier. Yes, you do. Fantastic. And the little sample bottles. I don't think we get the little sample bottles. You get the little sample bottles, some little roller filaments, and just all kinds of goodies to help you along in your journey. That is how you get started. There are other kits available, starter kit. The oils kit is the most popular way to get started using, to get started with Young Living. Why do you get started with essential oils rather than something else? Because here's the thing with Young Living. They are all about ditching the toxins out of your life and switching to something that will serve your body, that will serve your wellness, and that will usher you into a life of health and vitality, rather than putting something synthetic that's unknown to us into our bodies. So they have household cleaner and shampoo and skincare and cosmetics and nutritional supplements and on and on and on. Women's products, men's products, children's products, baby products. They just have everything. So why would you get started with essential oils? Because they're awesome. They're awesome, and they work very, very fast. But here's the thing. All of those products that I mentioned, they're all infused with essential oils. So you can be washing your hair and just getting essential oils in your body. You can be washing your cosmetics off at night or putting cosmetics on, and they're infused with essential oils, because our skin is our largest organ. And those oils, whatever we put on our skin, is going straight into our bloodstream. Whatever we put in our mouth and ingest is going straight through our body via our intestinal tract. So essential oils and whatever we smell, it goes to our brain in like 3 seconds, which is crazy. And then your brain starts sending that message to other parts of your body. So these essential oils can be to every cell in your body in a matter of minutes. It is nuts. And that is the reason why it's best to start with the essential oil kit. So that's a little bit about the oils. Now, each oil that comes in the kit, there's an oil, like I said, for everything. For instance, and we're going to talk just a little bit, Debbie and I, a few testimonials. I'll let her maybe touch on whatever you want, Debbie, 2 to 3 oils, and maybe I'll touch on 2 to 3 oils. I'll just share my story of how I got started, because there's one particular oil that changed my whole life, and that is called Peace and Calming. Do y'all have Peace and Calming in your kit in Canada? Unmute yourself.
There was a time we did have Peace and Calming in the kit, but they took it out again. Yeah, so they kind of play with some of the oils, taking them in and out and whatever's available. I remember when Valor used to be available in the kit.
They did the same thing with us, and they just now put Peace and Calming and Valor back in. So perhaps,
I know.
Perhaps, because those are the 2 #1 sellers. And which brings up another point. You know, Peace and Calming and Valor, obviously those are blends. I forgot to mention that to all of you watching this replay. There are blends and there are singles. Singles would be peppermint and lemon and orange and things like that. Lavender, single oil, single plant. And then they take, of course, there's science to it, but they take a little of this, a little of this, a little of this, put it together for a particular reason in a particular scientific way, and they make a blend. Because obviously there is not a plant called peace and calming. So this is a blend of oil, and this little baby right here is probably one of their number one sellers. And because there's something, one of the plants that is in this oil, as Debbie mentioned, it has been taken out of the kit in Canada, and for quite some time it was removed from the kit in the US, and it just got put back in. Well, there's a plant in here, perhaps the tansy or something, I do not know which plant it is, that is hard to source because these are natural. And if something is hard to source, they will honor the earth. They will honor that. And if it falls below the product that they get, falls below their standard, they will not put it on the market. They 100% will not put it on the market. So their two best sellers, Valor and Peace and Calming, best sellers, they just took off the market. They said, no, we're not going to do it. We cannot continue to be able to have a supply of these two oils and keep them in the kit, because Young Living is growing like crazy. And so they just took them off the market. Well, any other company would have used an inferior. They would have added something to these products to make us, because you and I, we don't have the science labs, and our noses probably are not skilled enough to be able to know if it's truly authentic or truly a high quality. But Young Living knows, and God knows, and they want to honor that. They are not going to jeopardize their reputation of everything that they stand for and put an inferior product out there. So they took them off the market for a long, long time. But thank goodness we're blessed with them. And I suspect that Canada will have the same soon. So I got started with this little oil right here, Peace and Calming. At the time, I was not sleeping very well. I was in my 40s. I had two teenage boys that were involved in every sport under the rainbow here in the US. And I was a hairstylist. I worked part-time. I managed our home. All the things, typical life, mom, going 50 different directions. My dad does not live. My parents were divorced when I was a young child, and my dad lived in another city, and he was ill. He had a surgery, a very simple outpatient surgery, and he ended up on life support. So that was going on at the time that I was introduced. He made it through. He was fine, but just a little medical oops. And my grandmother also had a stroke, and that is actually why I sought this out, because I was introduced to it a year prior, and I was a complete skeptic. I wanted nothing to do with it. And then when life happens, which it always does, I was a little more open. And so when I was a little more open, things just come to you. I happened to run into the girl that introduced them to me, and I said, hey, what are those things? Do they work? She came, explained them to me. I was blown away, wanted all of my friends to know about them, ordered myself a little kit that was not near as luxurious as it is now, and it was just about the same price. So all of you are getting an unbelievable deal. And so this oil said that it helped get a good night's sleep, and that was my number one issue, I thought, at the time. And so I rubbed this little oil, a couple of drops of this oil, which is the most beautiful, delightful fragrance you could ever smell. And I rubbed it on the bottom of my feet at night. And I tell you what, I slept so good, so good. Now, because 9 or 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, however many years ago that was, essential oils were not the norm, and you were a weirdo if you used essential oils back then. So I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. And but my clients, I worked from my home. I had a salon in my home, and my clients knew something was up. They're like, "Girl, what's up? You are different. You are so joyful. You are so happy." And all I did was rub 2 drops of this on the bottom of my feet at night. That is it. Well, that's not true. I also was drinking a little packet of this amazing juice. Yeah, right? Each day. I tell you what, I could have run a marathon and mowed the lawn in 100-degree heat and been happy about it. That stuff made me feel so darn good. So anyway, that's kind of how I got started. And I was like, I don't know what this stuff is, but it changed my life. It turned me from a grumpy, negative, complaining woman to someone that was very pleasant to be around. In fact, 3 days after I started using this, I was talking to my mother on the phone who knew nothing about me using this. And she said this, quote unquote, I will never forget it. What are you doing? You're so pleasant to talk to. That is what she said to me. You are so pleasant to talk to, because I complained about everything. I had nothing but negative things to say about anything and everything. And I said, just getting a good night's sleep, because let's face it, lack of sleep is enough to make anybody a grumpster, right? And sleep is important, but it was deeper than that. It was more than that. You got to get to the root cause. And that's what these little oils do. They get to the root cause because they are intentional for your body. So that's kind of how I got started on Peace and Calming. And Peace and Calming does exactly what it says. It's fantastic for if you're having less than superior sleep. It's fantastic for that. If you are having any kind of anxious feelings, or I've introduced it to many, unfortunately, teenage girls that deal with extreme panic and anxiety. Joy, was your oil? I can't wait to hear your testimonial on that. Unmute yourself.
That was just one of the oils. I remember a friend telling me that whenever she knows she's going to be going into a difficult situation, she just puts a little joy on her heart, and away she goes.
Really?
Yeah.
So she just rubs a drop or 2 right over her heart.
She just puts it on her hand, just like this, and just rubs it right on her heart, and away she goes.
Isn't that amazing how they work like that?
Yeah.
And you know, there's all kinds of science, and there's all kinds of videos, and there's all kinds of resources out there. So if you're into that, you can find the why. I'm kind of the person that, like, look, I don't know how they work. I just know they work, and I'm in. What other oils have you had great?
I'm going to try to keep it compliant.
Okay.
There was no diagnosis made, but I was in a car accident, and I actually hurt my hand, and it was causing a lot of pain. I could never hold a glass or anything. I would drop it, right? I couldn't write because that movement wouldn't work.
Wow.
And they tried for 9 years. They tried acupuncture, physiotherapy. They had me in a brace. They did everything they possibly could. And it wasn't till I started going through all the oils, and I started getting my free stuff from the US, and fennel was the first one I tried out of my free stuff that I was getting. Fennel. And it almost overnight, the pain was gone. I don't know why. Fennel, I don't know why.
Wow.
But it's beside my bed. I put it on every day because I don't want it to come back. The doctor said, we'll just remove part of the bone, and I wasn't willing to do that. So.
Wow. You know, I have got so many bottles of fennel, and I do not know what to do with it.
You could rub it on your tummy if you have indigestion too, or di
Digestive issues.
yeah, thank you. It smells amazing.
Yes.
You can
I
put
know
it
it's
on
great
your,
for nursing mommies, right? Doesn't it increase your milk supply?
yes, I believe that's what it does too. But whoever thought that it would take away the pain? For some reason, it worked for me. So,
Yeah, because that's the thing with essential oils. You just don't know. Like I have this bottle of Dreamcatcher right here. You know,
mhm,
you don't know what the molecules in this body, in this bottle, are going to do for your body. You
yeah,
just don't know. So just use them like you did. Hey, I
yeah.
got this free oil. I wonder what it does. Uh, isn't that amazing? That's fantastic.
Yes, it was so wonderful to get relief. It was the first night I had actually slept really well in about 9 years.
So you were then just sold out. And
Yes,
that got your attention, I would imagine, said, hey, there's something to this. What else can I learn?
yeah,
That's
yeah, and the journey kind of goes on from there, right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because they work and they work fast. And, you know, I mean, the Lord always gives you what you need when you need it. So you just got to give them a whirl. Because I'm telling you, if you're a walking, breathing human being, you need Young Living essential oils in your life. They're going to change your entire world. And our whole mission is what we stand for is to get essential oils into every home in the world. I mean, we believe that with all of our heart because they've made such a profound difference in our lives. I mean, big, big, big differences. Debbie could not hold a glass, she just said. She could not write. It was affecting her entire life. Imagine if you couldn't hold anything with your hand. I mean, you couldn't cook, you couldn't hug, you couldn't hold a hand, you couldn't write. I mean, just on and on and on. And a few drops of essential oil has changed her whole life. And then I would imagine you went on to use this product and that product and anything and everything. And then what happens is we are just infused with life giving essential oils, right? As we use them in all areas, like we mentioned, the cosmetics and the skincare and the deodorant and things like that, because it opens your mind to seek out um, the things that you typically use. And you began to think, I wonder why, I wonder what's in this product. And you begin to use or read labels and think, oh my goodness, I had no idea that this ingredient could harm me in that way. And so we call that ditching and switching. And that's what it leads to, the life giving, um, health promoting oils. So another oil that is in the kit is, well, there's peppermint, which, and I'll just touch very, very briefly. These are not in any way inclusive. There's no way that we could verbally, right, Debbie, say an inclusive list of what each oil does. And that's the other cool thing about essential oils. If we go to the market and we get something for a particular need that we might be having, it's something over the counter, it's going to be for that one thing. It's one symptom that it's going to help. And it may mask that symptom, but 9 times out of 10, knowingly or unknowingly, it's going to create some kind of a side effect. And it might be silent, it might be harming your kidneys or your liver or something like that. Or it might be like me, I'm very sensitive to things. Sorry, the air conditioner in this trailer is very, very loud, so I felt like I was screaming. Like me, I would get, you know, heart palpitations and all kinds of things when I would take any kind of over the counter. Well, essential oils aren't going to do that, and each essential oil is good for hundreds of things. So peppermint is something that you might use if you needed just a little perk me up. If you got that 3 o'clock slump, you might put just a little bit of peppermint under your nose, and it's not only going to perk you up, but it is going to open up your sinuses. and support your sinuses and help you to be able to breathe deeply and breathe freshly. And Debbie, at any point that I say something and you have something to share about that oil, please just raise your hand and I will shut my mouth and you just take over. Now, which one is that? Let me unmute you.
Sorry, it's peppermint.
Peppermint. So what do you have to share about that one?
It's one of my favorite oils. I use it for so many things, especially the raindrop. At the end of the raindrop, I use a lot. I probably go through a 15 ml bottle every month.
Wow.
I like diffusing it if I'm exercising.
Yes.
And my husband actually likes it to go to sleep with.
Yes, that is so interesting. See, everybody's different. I'm glad you brought that up. Peppermint stimulates me. So I would never use it this time of night because I'll be up till 4 in the morning. But I know many, many people that it actually ushers them into a peaceful night's rest. Everybody's different.
Yeah, if your feet are really hot, just put a little peppermint on your feet. It'll cool them right off.
Yes.
And you can put it in a little spritzer if it's a really hot day and add water and just and I love it if it's in the white bottle.
Yes. Yes.
Because we do have that here in Canada. Put it in my water bottle.
Yes. Absolutely. It's so great. Essential oils are so good in your beverages, and some tea or some water. Lemon first thing in the morning and water is so detoxifying. Just get all the systems of your body awake and alert and doing what they were designed to do. So another oil that comes in, we just mentioned lemon. Lemon is very, very good in your water. It's very good to support and stimulate your immune system. We call it sunshine in a bottle, or your happy oil, because you smell that lemon and I tell you what, it brings a smile to your face. It smells so delightful. It's very, very good in your diffuser. Janie mentioned to us last week on our recording that we can rub it on the bottom of our feet. And if you do that every day, it will actually make your feet so soft and get rid of those calluses. And we actually started a challenge to everybody that was on the recording, and there were numerous people last week, to rub that a couple of times a day on the bottom of her feet. Debbie, yeah, I haven't done it today either. She's like, whoops, I better get it on my feet. I should go get my open bottle as well and rub it on mine. But it sure makes you feel good. And it just goes in. Our skin is our largest organ. And these oils just go right in there, and they have an intelligence to them, and they just kind of truck through your body. The molecules are so tiny. They just kind of truck through and go where they're supposed to go and do what they're designed to do. And it's just awesome. Lavender, of course, is known as the oil of relaxation. Gary Young deemed that as the Swiss Army knife of all oils, because there's like 1,000,001 uses for lavender. It's very, very good to support your skin. Great to cook, to keep by your stove. Yes. I think lavender, no, it does come in a regular, it does not come in a Vitality here in the US. I mean, it does come in a Vitality, but in the kit, it is not a Vitality oil. So to rub that on the bottom of your feet or on your pillow at night, to put in the diffuser, to rub on your shoulders or on the back of your neck, it's so relaxing. Certain times of the year, if you need just a little seasonal support, when there's all that yellow coating on our cars and things like that, at least there is in Texas, lavender may be very beneficial for you. It's also great to be able to enjoy the outdoors. I think that it's very beneficial for us, but I don't think that flying pests like it very much. So if you're ever, I don't know about you, but I was just out with some friends about an hour ago and there were flies everywhere. Well, if I had on my lavender, might have had a little bit more pleasant experience. So again, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of uses, literally, for each oil. Thieves is a blend that is very, very good. If you're falling below the wellness line, you need just a little bit of support. It has clove and cinnamon and eucalyptus and lemon and what else? Rosemary, yes. It smells like Christmas in a bottle. It is delightful. You can put that, the Vitality, right under your tongue if you need a little extra support. And for particular certain times of year, like when the kids go back to school, it'd be fantastic to put in, just make it a regular habit to rub, like Debbie has in the Canadian kit, the internal, or excuse me, the topical and aromatic version of it to rub on the bottom of their feet, maybe with a drop of lemon to just keep their immune system supported very, very well. Maybe in the diffuser. If you have the Vitality, like comes in the US kit, put that a drop under your tongue or in some tea, make you feel wonderful. The other oil that comes in here is Citrus Fresh. That is, gosh, is that like 4 or 5 different citrus oils plus a dab of spearmint? I believe it is, like tangerine and lemon and grapefruit and all the things, like for several different citrus oils and just a little bit of spearmint. It is so delightful. That too is very, very good to put in your water. It's very good, ladies, to rub on the outside of your thighs or those areas that are a little bit less than smooth and appealing appearance. Very, very good for that. I personally, instead of using toxic dryer sheets, I use wool dryer balls, and I love to put Citrus Fresh on my dryer balls and then throw my laundry in there. It's wonderful. The other oil that comes in is Digize. Some people call it DGs, some people call it DJs, whatever. I'm not sure what the proper pronunciation is. I call it Digize. Is that what you say? Digize. And this is all things digestion. If you're having some digestive issues, peppermint is very good for that. But Digize, and I believe that fennel is one of the oils that's in Digize. You can just rub that right on your belly or the Vitality. Just put it right under your tongue or in some water after every meal, and you will feel amazing. That is another oil that we had an amazing experience with. My sister and I, we ate just a little bit too much. We were eating empanadas actually, and we had just a little bit, 1 or 2 bites too many, and we were bloated. And well, now I look back and it was probably doggone gluten, but anyway, we were bloated and just felt miserable and really kind of gassy. We're like, this isn't good. So we rubbed a drop on our tummy, and I promise you, now I don't know if this is going to work like this for you, but I promise you, before I even got my hand off my tummy, I could tell a difference. And I was like, okay, you try it. And she had the same experience. So this has been a go-to for us. I know in my sister's house, they use it constantly. If you've got children, you definitely, well, anybody needs Digize, but especially if you got kiddos in your house, you need Digize in your house. Raven is great for respiratory support. It's great before you go work out, after you work out. If you're having, just need a little bit of extra respiratory support, it's great just to take a nice deep cleansing breath through your mouth. You'll just be able to feel your lungs open up. Rub it on your chest, rub it on the bottom of your feet, and you'll feel much better. Valor. Valor is one that is so amazing. In fact, before I get to Valor, before I go into that too much detail, I want to touch on Panaway. And if you are having any kind of you just need a little extra support. Maybe you've worked out like me. I just started working out today. So I suspect that Panaway will be my best friend in the next few days, that my muscles are going to be feeling a little rebellious. And I would just rub Panaway on there. Well, if you take Valor and Panaway and peppermint, and I like to think of these like a painting project. Valor would be your primer. So you would put that on the area of need first. This is the most, well, I said Peace and Calming. I said the same thing about Peace and Calming, but this is the most delightful fragrance. Is it not, Debbie? It's awesome. and it's purple. It's beautiful. And you just take a drop or two of this and you put it right on the area of need. And you'll probably, honestly, that might be enough. But then you take Panaway, and we call this layering the oils, and you put a drop or two of this on the area of need, and then you finish up with peppermint. Debbie mentioned this because peppermint not only has so many wonderful properties all on its own and benefits, but it also acts as a driver oil that drives the other oils, and I think like 18 times stronger or something like that. Is that correct? Something like that. And so this would be your primer, this would be your paint, then this would be your sealant. If this was a painting project, you can tell I've done just probably a few too many painting projects, if that's the analogy I come up with. But it's a good one. It works. So the other couple of oils that come in, frankincense. You ever heard of frankincense? I mean, like the real deal. It's good enough for Jesus. It's good enough for you and I. This will bless your family so much. When in doubt, use frankincense. It's amazing. It is the most miraculous, mood stimulating, happy stimulating oil, ingredient, whatever you want to call, product that you could ever use. It's intentional for you, and that's why they brought it to Jesus, and it was revered more special and more valuable than gold. So it must have something to it that could benefit you and I. It has a lot to it. Frankincense is so beautiful. I was actually kind of turned off to this when I first started using oils. It didn't appeal to me. It is the sweetest, most beautiful, clean fragrance. You will love it. When in doubt, use frankincense. I'll tell you what, you got some boo-boos, put a drop of frankincense on it, and you won't have boo-boos very much longer.
I do have a story about frankincense.
Oh, please do share.
And it is about somebody I know, and she was having some issues where she wasn't getting around. She wasn't very mobile, so she was on a walker. She was using a walker, and she put frankincense on the bottom of her feet, and she got up to go to the bathroom. She came back and she thought, I'll put it on the bottom of my feet again, and went back to bed and woke up in the morning, got up and started making breakfast. And then she realized she wasn't using her walker. So I won't say what area of the foot she put that on, but it immediately made a difference in her life.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And unlike most of the time that we would use a traditional product, that it masks a symptom for a moment, for a time, an hour, a day, whatever, and then oftentimes recurs, oils are different, right? So I don't know. I don't know what it'll do for you, but I promise you it'll do something amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
So the other oil that is so delightful is Stress Away. Obviously, again, this is a blend. This, now, I don't know about you.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Laura, if you could so sweetly mute your phone or your video, unless you've got
Sorry.
to say. That's okay. Do you have a testimony to share about one of the oils? Please do if you do.
Actually, the first one comes to my mind, and sorry, I'm getting over a bug. This weekend I was at a booth, and a lady had some major knee pain and issues and stuff, and just uncomfortable. And I just had the Panaway and peppermint I put on her knee, and just the comfort and the soothing that she had before she even got out of the chair was
Yes.
just awesome. I love testimony from someone that's never had, actually correct that, she had used other oils before, like from Walmart,
Yes.
and how she felt after I put that on in just a couple minutes was wonderful. I just love hearing the confirmation.
That's beautiful. That's
And
beautiful.
sorry, I got back on here and forgot to mute myself. Sorry about that.
Okay, no apology necessary. Well, Stress Away, I am a beach person, and this reminds me of the beach because it's lime and vanilla and just, it does exactly what it says, Stress Away. Now, I live in Houston, Texas, and I don't know what it's like where you live, but it's busy here. And there's a lot of cars on the highway. And so I would, in your kit, you're going to get a couple of these titanium rollerball filaments. And you basically can just take the, I don't want to open these oils because these are in a kit that somebody else will get. But your bottle of essential oil has this little filament orifice, I guess, on it. And you just pop that off sideways like this. Like that. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see. You just pop it off with the lid, and then you would just set this titanium rollerball on there, and then you would screw on the lid, and your bottle of oil then would become a roll-on. And Stress Away is the one that I would keep all the time in my car as a roll-on. I called it my road rage oil because Houston is pretty busy. And so it does exactly, this is probably one of the most popular oils that people buy the kit for because it is such a beautiful fragrance, right? Do you have
So I
that?
do have a story.
Yes.
My daughter, she loves Stress Away, and she would just call me up and, you know, just to vent a little bit. And I would go, well, don't you have your Stress Away with you? Oh yes, Mom, I've got it in my drawer. I pull it out as soon as my boss leaves, and I make sure I smell it. And it calms me right down. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize you don't have to touch the orifice with the lid. And I show a few people that have used oils for a long time, and they go, oh, I never knew that.
I was one of those people.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because I would pop it off with my thumb all the time. And I don't know, it was probably 6 years at least. Now I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. Yeah. Stress Away is a beautiful oil. Well, in that kit too, we mentioned earlier, you're going to get, at least in the US kit, you're going to get a sample of the Thieves Household Cleaner, which will make an entire bottle of household cleaner. And because there's so many toxins in our cleaners, we as women are exposed to so many chemicals each day, most of them, hundreds of them, before we even walk out the door, before we eat breakfast, with the cosmetics and the hair care and on. I was a hairstylist, so I was inundated with chemicals. And then we go to clean our house, whether you clean your bathroom sink or clean, whatever it is, we are just inundated with chemical exposure. And what it's happening is messing with your endocrine system. They're called endocrine disruptors. And I'm going to let you ask your best friend Google about that. And also, while you're at it, go ahead and Google xenoestrogens, Xeno estrogens, and just give yourself a little schooling on that. And you will want to ditch and switch to that which is going to promote and provide beautiful health to you, rather than things that are going to mess with your endocrine system. So you get the Thieves Household Cleaner, you get the Thieves Hand Purifier, which only takes away the bad guys, the bad germs. It does not kill the good germs in your body. We are so inundated with antibacterial products that it's actually harming our immune system because it's taking away our good bacteria. Plus it has all of the other hand purifiers. They have chemicals in them that are not serving you well. Well, Thieves is very, very different. And it also has that beautiful Christmas cinnamon clove fragrance. And it doesn't have alcohol in it, so it doesn't dry your skin. It actually moisturizes your skin. It's delightful. So you get a whole little bottle of that. It just takes the tiniest amount. And then you get 2 samples, 2-ounce packets of the Ningxia Red juice, which is an antioxidant juice. It's good for every organ in your body. That's right. This stuff is liquid gold. So it will just bless your socks off. You get all of that for only $165. Is that how much the Canadian kit is as well? Is more than that?
No, I believe ours is $199.97 or something like that.
Which is still
But
a good darn deal for everything you get.
I can't be without this either. And they had to take it off of the Canadian market right now.
Oh no!
So yeah, which is
Because it's so popular.
Well, a lot of people went out and got quite a bit of it. So right now we'll be sharing with other people in a little different way, because most of the time we don't like sharing our own product. We don't mind sharing a drop or two, but yeah, when it comes down to the Ningxia Red, we're kind of hoarders, I guess. We want to keep it for ourselves because we need it so much.
Sure.
You know, on an individual. Yeah.
Yeah. My husband left this morning to go on a business trip, and I had 6 packets. Now it comes in 26-ounce bottles, and it comes in packets, and we usually keep both around, but I had 6 packets left, and I have bottles in the fridge, but I was tempted to tell him that I didn't have any packets left. Is that wrong? Golly, I was like, but I know he needs it so badly, and it will bless him, and he needs to stay healthy, especially flying on airplanes and stuff like that. So yeah.
I don't like lying, but that is one thing that I'll kind of go, nope, sorry, I don't have any.
Wow. Stash it in your underwear drawer or something, some places they won't look. So anyway, you get all of that for $165. But let me tell you the best part about Young Living. We're going to transition just a tiny bit into the referral side. So not going to go into deep detail, but this is something so beautiful that can, just as the product has changed our life so much, the referral side of Young Living, they're such a beautiful, generous company. Because what happens when we use a product, I'm just looking, okay, here's something, our cell phones. What happens when we use something, when cell phones first came out? This might not be a very good example right now, but when cell phones first came out, and especially when you got the upgrade, you went from an iPhone 4 to an iPhone 5, you wanted to say, oh my gosh, Debbie, you've got to go and get this iPhone 5, girl. Let me tell you, look at all the things that it can do now that your 3 or your 4 can't do, blah, 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 blah. Point is that we want to tell people, our friends and our contacts and our family, about things that we love. So when you tell people you fall in love, and you will very quickly, with your essential oils and your shampoo and your skincare and your cosmetics, all the things, when you tell people about them, guess what? Young Living is such a generous company that they have a fantastic referral program, just simply for introducing one of your friends. If you're a participating member, and I am going to put this link in the chat box when we talk about, hopefully nope, wrong link. Wait, I think that's the wrong link. I'm going to put the link for the income disclosure statement, because anytime that we mention money, we need to put that. So I will put it, hey, can you still see me even though I took myself off the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because I went onto another screen so that I can get this
Oh, okay.
disclosure statement. Anyway, when you refer someone and you are a participating member, meaning you're ordering your products, you refer someone and they order one of these kits because they want what you have. Here's the income disclosure statement right there. Young Living is going to pay you $50 as a thank you. Isn't that amazing? And it goes even further than that. So basically, what happens is we live our life trading hours for dollars typically. And we do that usually for 40 or more years of our life, of our whole life. And we do that for 40 or more, usually more hours a week, only to retire at 65, 75. People are retiring a lot later today because they just can't make it. Or they don't know what to do with their life, or their health. They have money, but they don't have health, or they have health and they don't have money. Either way is a really horrible situation. If you have great health and you don't have the money to enjoy it, that would be the pits. Or if you have a ton of money and you have horrible health, that would be the pits. We need both, right? And
Absolutely.
when you retire after working 40 years, 40 plus hours a week, and you're going to retire on 40% of what you were making. So if you make 100 grand a year, if you're blessed and you make 100 grand a year when you retire, your lifestyle probably is not going to change. At least your desires for lifestyle are not going to change, but your income sure is. And most, I would venture to say that 75 to 80% of people are not adequate in their savings when it comes to retirement. And most people are not going to be able to live on 40% of their working income. Do you really want to work your entire life to just get by, just pay your mortgage or pay your rent and not have income or to be able to do anything at all? And that is the reality. That is often the reality. It's not 100% the reality, but it is a majority of the reality. And the baby boomers are the largest, I guess the millennials are now, because lots of baby boomers had lots of babies. The millennials outnumber the baby boomers probably, but we are in great need for health and wealth, or at least a sustainable income, and Young Living can make a huge difference in that. They have such a generous compensation plan. It's not anything to shy away from or to snub your nose at or to be afraid of. It's simply this. You just show people what we're showing you tonight. You show people this kit of oils. You order this kit of oils. You start using them. You tell people, your friends, your family, your girlfriends that you're closest to, what they're doing for you. They order it. You get the $50 referral. They in turn, and you do that, you get about 6 to 8 besties to run alongside with you, and you help them. It's fun. You, like Debbie and I, could hook up. I'd say, Debbie, come on, let's do this. This could be tons of fun. This has changed my life. It's changed your life. Let's go change Karen's life. Let's go change Laura's life. Let's go change Susie's life. And goodness gracious, Susie's husband, he really needs some help. Let's help them out. And so they join us, and then they tell their friends, and they tell their friends. And remember that Breck commercial back in the day? And she told her friend, and she told her friend. And then next thing you know, it multiplies. Well, you know what we call that? There's a word for that. It's called leverage. So you might have an hour or 2 or 20 a week, but when you have 6 or 8 of your girlfriends doing the same thing, working an hour or 2 or 20 a week showing exactly what we're showing you, just telling stories and showing people how to get started on the product. That is literally all there is to it. Then if you're putting in 4 hours a week and you have, 4 or 5 girlfriends doing it, you now, or actually your team is putting together, you have 20 to 25 hours worth going into your business when you yourself are only putting in 4 or 5. That is called leveraging, the power of leveraging. And the next thing you know, it just grows beyond your control. It grows all over the world because Young Living is all over the world. They want Young Living essential oils in every home in the world, every hut, everything, every person. They want Young Living essential oils. And that's kind of how it works. So you just get 6 or 8 friends to run alongside of you, and you just show them, you get started on the product, and you show them how to get started on the product, and you show them, you just lead them to a monthly or a weekly meeting. Like we have these calls every single Monday at 7 o'clock, and you can lead them, you can bring them to this, you can get them with the person that got you started, whoever invited you. If you're watching the recording of this, whoever invited you to that recording, you get with that person if you're ready to get started, and you simply get started. It is going to bless you so much. Now, here's another thing that sets Young Living apart from all the other companies. Most companies that put together, and the reason that the Youngs put their company together in this manner is because this product is a very special product and it takes a little bit of education. They didn't want to just put it out there on the shelf. They wanted it to be something that a helping company, that I help you and then you in turn go and help another person. So it takes a little bit of education, and that's why we do it in the model that build teams. Well, most of the companies that are built in this business model, and it is a fantastic business model, it makes so much sense. Most of the companies, do you know that they fold within about 5 years? I mean, I have met a few people that have had great success in other companies, only to wake up one day and that company is no longer in business. So all that success that they built came crashing down in an instant. Well, Young Living's not that company. They've been around 25 years and they are growing leaps and bounds. And because we're growing so fast, we are looking for some key people to join us, to bless you with health and wellness, and to join us, join forces, and bring on your besties and help those besties bring on their besties, and to just do just that, to solve the mission, to partner with Young Living. Now, this book will explain everything there is to know about what I just told you, the 4-year career for women. I know there's a little bit of glare on that. Or the 4-year career. Maybe that's a little bit better. The 4-year career. The 4-year career for women. It will explain everything in very, very simple detail. It's a little tiny book. You can read it probably in about an hour at most, even if you're a slow reader. And it'll explain everything to you that you need to know. The other thing, and I put in the comments about the income disclosure statement. The other thing is most companies have about an 8 to 10% retention rate, meaning that those people that join the company and they fall in love with the products, because most companies that are set up in this business model, they really do have very high quality products. They have great products, usually better than what you can get on the shelf. But most companies have an 8 to 10% retention rate. Those that do decide to build a business, they make a little bit of money, they fall in love with the product, they make a little bit of money, then they really fall in love with the product, and then something happens, the company folds, or I don't know why, something happens and they fall out of love with it. And so they only have about an 8 to 10% retention rate of those that continue to refer for compensation. And they have maybe, I don't even know what percent, but Young Living has over a 50% of those that continue to refer for compensation retention rate. But this number, they have a 92% retention rate of product users. That means there are 92% out of millions and millions and millions of product users, 92% of those people would use the product if there was zero money attached to it. Debbie's one of them. If there was zero compensation, and I'm one of them, I have used this product faithfully on the Essential Rewards program, which is a phenomenal program that you get all kinds of free stuff and great perks. I've been on that since I think I joined in November of 07, and I joined Essential Rewards either in December of 07 or January of 08, and I've never missed a month. I would use these products whether there was compensation to them or not. So
I do have a quick thing that is different here in Canada than it is in the States.
okay,
Because I think that anybody that enrolls in the States has to start with the premium starter kit. Is that not correct?
that is not correct.
They can just enroll and just
They
buy one oil?
they can enroll with the basic kit,
Okay.
which is basically just the Stress Away and the samples.
Here, you can enroll and, you know, have your account and start doing research, and you don't have to buy anything for 11 months and 29 days.
Really?
And you still maintain your account.
Yeah, you have in the United States, you need to place at least a 50 PV order in a 12-month period to maintain your account.
We have to do a 50 PV order in a 1-year period, but it doesn't have to be right at the beginning.
Oh, wow.
So
I
I've
don't know
had,
if you have that or not.
yeah, I've had people that have come in and, you know, I would contact them every month and I'm going, yeah, I'm going to be going down to the office and, you know, if you want anything. And they said, no, not yet. I gave them some resource material. And within, say, 6 months, this one in particular, 6 months later, she placed her first order because I kept on feeding her with a little bit of information. Well, they do have promos, just, you know, beware of the promos, be, you know, aware of the Essential Rewards because it's such a good reward program if you want to start, you know, saving points. And so 6 months later, she started with a 300 PV kit or order.
Wow.
And she did that for over a year. Every month it was whatever the promos were, even if it was 400, she would get a 400 PV order.
Yeah,
But
because they give you so much free stuff on those promos.
yeah, and she would do it like I taught her, just a little bit over, just,
Yeah.
you know, just there. And if you want, like now she's starting, because now she's got a fair amount of oils. So now if it's 190, I just teach her, just go to 191,
Yeah.
right? So she's doing it just about.
Yeah.
So
put a
she's
ball
making
on there or something.
But the other question I wanted to ask you, can you imagine all of those things that we have shared through our lives, through kindergarten to, you know, our favorite crayons to, you know, this is the best, we got this here, your dress or whatever it was. We shared so much and we never profited a bit.
That's
With
exactly
this,
right.
you can, but we did it freely.
Yes.
I find a lot of people will look at Young Living as soon as they think that they can make a little bit of money, they go, oh, I can't do that. I can't make money off my friends. And I'm going, you're not. You're making your friends healthier.
That's right. You're not making money off of your friends. We don't think anything about saying, I found, um, I don't know, it could be a food. Like I told someone the other day, like, have you ever had black rice? Oh, yeah, you go down to Kroger, go down to the market and look on the aisle, blah, 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 and buy that black rice. Well, whoever the company is that makes the rice or Kroger, they didn't even send me a thank you note for the new customer, much less a referral fee. So that's how it works. If and so many people will go into Target and get their reward card. Do y'all have a Target store in Canada? It's a
We have Costco.
mm,
And it does give you 1 to 2% back.
yeah, and Costco,
But you have to pay.
you got to buy the membership. Well, Target, you get this loyalty shoppers card. Doesn't cost you anything to shop there except obviously for the product, but you get 5% back on the red card. 5% back. Well, Young Living is going to give you minimum 10% and up to 25% back, plus hundreds of dollars of free products potentially on all those promos, like you were teaching your friend to just go $1 or $2 above, just to assure that she is going to get the freebies. I mean, if Young Living wants to give me something free, you betcha I'm gonna partake in that for sure.
It just means we can share without it costing us anything.
Exactly. I just send out lots and lots and lots because my husband and I just moved into an RV, so we have a little tiny space. So I don't have lots of room for all of those beautiful things of Young Living that I have. So I was able to bless my team with all those free things. So yeah, you're right. You're right. Just to be able to bless people so they can try the products. Well, I hope that each of you have learned something. I know that I've learned things from Debbie and Laura for sharing that awesome testimony. And so how can you get started? So you just simply get with the person that invited you to this, and each person has a member number. And we would like for you to go to youngliving.com and put in that person's member number that invited you to watch this webinar. And that way they will be able to support you and to help educate you and to plug you into their Facebook groups and all kinds of fun things. So it's a wonderful, wonderful community. So don't hesitate to go ahead and get started with Young Living. Start with your essential oils kit. Get with the person that connected you to this and help them, or let them help you rather, get exactly what is good for you to meet your needs. And they have some resources available that can help you along your journey and get you started. We can't wait for you to be a part of our team and to be a part of our community. And we so look forward to serving you and hearing your testimonials. Please invite others for next Monday. The link that you tuned in for this week is the exact same link every single Monday that you will use at 7 o'clock. So please join us and help spreading the mission to get us Young Living essential oils in every home in the world, and invite 2 or 3 of your besties to come alongside you on this same webinar next week. We thank you so much for your time. We are going to sign off and get on with our evenings. And we will see you on the other side of the screen next week.
Can I add one thing?
Oh, please.
Anybody that just gets their premium starter kit or their S starter kit for the first time, open your bottles.
Oh my goodness. I know that sounds crazy, but there are so many people that they just, and it is, I'm not going to fib, it's different. we're so used to running to the medicine cabinet and opening something and taking something with a swig of water, taking a pill or something. Open your bottles and just use them. They're nothing to fear. Just use them. If you don't know what to do with them, rub them on the bottom of your feet or the back of your neck. Just put a drop in your hand, like Debbie and I have demonstrated. Take a nice deep breath. Rub it on the back of your neck or rub it on the bottom of your feet. I mean, just get it on you. You can't mess up. And if you have an area of discomfort, say your shoulder or your knee or something like that, or like Debbie was explaining her wrist, we'll put it right there because you just never know what it's going to do for you, right, Debbie?
Yeah, and ask your upline for resources or where you can get them, where you can access them. Maybe you can borrow them and until you can get your own. Just get them.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And so that's how you just get started. Just open your bottles, use them, and get started, and it's going to bless your socks off, right? So we're going to go ahead and tune off tonight. And anybody that invites people next week, we're going to have a drawing for some giveaways for some of these beautiful, beautiful freebies that we all have in our arsenal. We would love to bless you with them. So those that are watching this and they invite people next week, make sure you do that. We'll see you guys later. Bye for now.